our favorite picks, one that I kind of whittled down was is actually from the original Zelda game, and it's kind of funny because I must have learned this song. Well, I don't mean, it's not really a song. I must have learned like the melody probably, oh my gosh, 20 times over the years, teaching it to different students. And I don't blame them because it's really fun. It's a great, really memorable melody. I mean, everybody that's played Zelda can instantly identify it, so it's really cool. But but yeah, and this one was, you know, it had a lot of things kind of going on in the song. It was like fairly complex, like fairly difficult, but all in all, I think it came together really well, and I think it sort of conveys the spirit of the song successfully, like what we're trying to do. So
I think it went pretty smoothly too compared to some of the other ones we've had. It was just absolute catastrophes, but that one actually went pretty good.
Yeah, it's true, and I think maybe part of that was that, you know, the lines, the bass line, the melody, the middle line, they're a little bit more separated, so it's a little bit easier to kind of hear them and play. Sometimes that's one of the harder factors, is not trying to execute the song, but being able to figure it out and hear those, like we mentioned earlier, those parts that are like, well, okay, we've got the high part and the low part. What is happening in the middle? And, you know, it can be tricky that way. But anyway, like I said, this one came out really well, and yeah, let's go ahead and take a look together.
Pretty cool. And now, you know, another one that we did a while back, I had this idea, you know, many summers ago, we were going to try a horror compilation. And the reason why it was a compilation is because we kind of felt like horror songs, when you reduce them down to just playing them on guitar, you're kind of missing that little something that makes them so scary and cool in movies. Because, you know, Josh said you had that visual aesthetic, and you combine that with like the, you know, the eerie music, and then it really hits you nice. But if you just hear the music by itself, sometimes it can sound a little boring, quite honestly. But the Psycho one was not the case. That thing, I think Bernard Herrmann, oh my God, it's just insane music. It was another one of those pieces where you would get a headache from trying to decipher it, like listening to the symphonic playing over and over again, and just really trying to write down the notes of exactly what they're doing. I mean, it was almost impossible, but we came up with an arrangement and put it together and made it real concise, and I think it came out pretty nice, actually.
Yeah, and that was actually kind of interesting too, because that was one of the cases in which we had to deal with a symphonic score versus like what's actually in the movie and what we wanted to portray, because they're different.
Yeah, they're totally different. And the best thing that came up with was, for anybody that has actually watched that video or that really likes Psycho, is that we took parts of if you bought the album soundtrack, we took parts of that arrangement, and then we took parts of what was actually in the opening credits of the movie, and we kind of like put it together and made our own like amalgamation of the melodies and the riffs, and really trying to stick true to the spirit of the song, though, not changing any notes, but basically shifting it to a way that everything was arranged to make it sound like a complete song. Even though you might not actually find that in the movie.
Absolutely. And the other thing about this I wanted to say was, this is one of the few instances where there's no need to put any type of extra flourishes or anything like that. Not that we do typically, but this one was, I mean, it was chock full of just trying to cover this whole thing. So really, really cool. Let's take a look.
Yeah.
see short, sweet, and creepy. That's an awesome song.
Yeah.
So yeah, another one that I want to talk about, and gosh, I want to say it's newer, but frankly it's not. It's nice to lose track with all of these videos. But it was the cover from the Game of Thrones theme.
Awesome.
And yeah, I mean, you know, first of all, I really enjoyed the series.
Great song too.
Yeah, and you know, being that I've watched the whole series, I'm you know watching that intro many times in a row. It's kind of burned in like anything else, but so it was really fun to play. And you know, obviously the song's really catchy. It's got a lot of energy, a lot of like heavy drums. That's cool. But also this one. For the video aspect of it, I took my custom guitar that I had made, and I actually kind of took the camera and sort of like paralleled the intro of Game of Thrones, where it goes around and it's just kind of going around the whole land and popping up all the cities and all the landmarks and stuff. Well, I kind of like went around the guitar and did all that stuff too. And
Towers
being
too.
fun. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so it was a fun one to not only play and to you know get that end product, but it was a fun video to do, which sometimes is kind of a rarity.
yeah.
But yeah, let's take a quick look. That's a pretty cool tune, right? And hey, that guitar's not too bad either.
Who was the guy that built that for you?
Anthony Rocco was his name. Really cool guy. I remember he was one of my influences in getting into Mastodon, which is one of the things I remember. But anyway, yeah, so, I mean, those are just some of our favorites. We've got tons and tons of videos, and please, we invite you guys to check all and any of them out.
You might have to scroll down for a while to get to something you like or recognize, but...
Yeah, but there's pretty much something for everybody as far as video games, music, TV, movie themes. I mean, there's all kinds of different stuff, but... Hey, listen, you know, this is part of our anniversary here, and we want to thank you for spending some time with us and going through the videos. And yeah, hopefully we'll see another video or two out before the anniversary weekend ends here. But in the meantime, take care.